Philippines, a great place to retire, but a horrible place to die. Is that true? That's what we're going to talk about today, so stick around. Alright guys, I got two favors to ask before we start today's video. One, give the video a like, and two, subscribe if you haven't already. These two small free things help this channel more than you could ever know, and we thank you for supporting us if you have already, and we thank you for considering doing so today. And without further interruption, let's get on with today's very important video. Welcome back to another edition of USA to Philippines Life channel with me, Mike, your host. And today, as I said in the intro, the Philippines is a great place to retire, a horrible place to die. We're going to take a look at that. It's something that I had seen maybe a while back before I was getting closer to retirement, maybe a little younger, something that maybe not so much on my mind. Also, the last couple of years, I lost my father, watched him go through end of life in his home. Fortunately, had hospice set up in his home. I got to see that, and I work in the healthcare industry too. I'm not a clinical end of healthcare, so I don't see those types of things. My wife does. I spoke to her about it. She doesn't think it's an issue, but it goes like this. Just watching another vlogger that did a great video on the price of maintenance medication in the Philippines, which for us aging Westerners, many of us, myself included, are on maintenance meds. This is an important topic. He touched on the subject of pain medication. I don't take any pain medication, and that's not maintenance medication. But the topic of pain medication came up. It got me to thinking about this, and he basically indicated, now he's there already, and he basically indicated good luck if you have pain. Now he said if you're in pain in the Philippines, there's really not much they're going to give you for pain. I think ibuprofen, things like that. But I'm talking, if God forbid you get into a situation where palliative medicine is what's needed, or even you enter into end of life situation, and that's basically where I'm getting at. It's not so much chronic pain, where that is probably an issue for a lot of people too, but a lot of that can be taken care of with ibuprofen, which you can get over there. I'm talking palliative care, end of life care, hospice. It doesn't seem like the Philippines is in the lead for that. And to me, as a guy in my mid-50s, by the time I'm ready to retire, I'm going to be 61, 62. This is something that after watching my dad go through, my dad was healthy until his 90s. He didn't need any of that. And it wasn't until the last year of his life that it required it. I'm just thinking, and it's an unpleasant subject, without a doubt, but we're all on our way there, man. We're all on our way. We're all going to get there sooner or later. So you enter into the end of life, you're terminally ill, and you're in pain. Here in the U.S., you reach that situation, there's the palliative care kicks in, hospice, and they make you comfortable. So you're not in agony as you pass on. That brings me to little research that I did. A Philstar article from 2015, Philippines among worst places to die. And this was a study. Manila, Philippines. This was a 2015 study. And it says the Quality of Death Study Index has listed the Philippines as one of the worst places to die next to Iraq and Bangladesh. The Economist Intelligence Units report, commissioned by Singapore nonprofit Lean Foundation, indicated Philippines, out of 80 countries, scored poorly in terms of the quality of end-of-life care available. The Quality of Death Index was measured across 5 categories: palliative and healthcare environment, human resources, affordable care, quality of care, and level of community engagement. The low ranking of the Philippines in the overall scores of Quality of Death Index was attributed to the severe shortage of specialized palliative care professionals, lack of government-led strategy for the development and promotion of national palliative care, limited number of government subsidies or programs for individuals accessing palliative care services, limited public understanding and awareness of palliative care services. So it goes on, and you see where they're getting at. And I'm going to put a link to this. So it's an old article. It's from 2015, and I hope things have changed since then. This is serious. This is definitely something that I intend to investigate when I get there, my trips leading up to retirement, because this is something that may cause me to adjust my plan in terms of, will I retire in the Philippines but not stay forever? Will I have a plan to return to the U.S. when I reach a certain point where I feel that, this is what's going through my mind right now, guys. So I want to hear from the guys that are in the Philippines now. What do you know about this? Is it true? Is there palliative care available for when you become terminally ill, cancer, etc., and you're in agony? What's the deal? This is definitely something serious. It's definitely something worth discussing. I'm no expert. I've said that before. This is a journey that you all are on with me, from my USA life to my Philippines life. And I know a lot of you are in the same position as I am. You're here, you're stateside, you're studying, you're learning, you're getting ready, you're doing this with me. So we're in it together. And then there's the team that's already there. So let's talk about it. This is important. So I'm going to put a link to this article. I also found another vlogger. It's a blogger, not a vlogger. He's PhilippinesPlus.com. I came across his blog while I was doing the research for this topic of Philippines being a not good place to die. And he's got a blog, I keep saying vlog, a blog from 2018, Top 7 Expat Philippine Retirement Problems. Number 1, the Philippines is one of the worst places in the world to die. And he cites the Philstar article that I am, and he said, reported in 2015, Philstar reported back in 2015 that a quality of death study, I talked about that. He goes on to say, brothers and sisters, that's troubling. And yes, it is, and that's why I'm talking about it. The Economist Intelligence Unit report commissioned in Singapore, he goes on to talk about it, and his bullet points are: quality of death index was measured across 5 categories, which are the ones I named: palliative and healthcare environment, human resources, affordable care, quality of care, level of community engagement. He gives the definition in case you don't know. Palliative care is specialized medical care for people with serious illnesses. Hopefully, now, to give benefit of the doubt to the Philippines on this, I did come across, when I was researching, it's philcancer.org.ph, and it is Hospice Groups. So this is what we were talking about. So now we're going into 2022. This article was from 2015. So God willing, progress is being made on this, because I, as a prospective retiree from the U.S. going to the Philippines, am troubled by this as well. I don't want to die in agony in the Philippines. Just to put it bluntly, who wants to die in agony? I mean, I love the Philippines. I love the idea of retiring there. I'm still going there as of now, but this is definitely something that we, as prospective retirees, need to, this trumps healthcare, all the other common stuff, all the what ifs that we talked about in my other video. I'll put it up here, the what ifs of Filipino retirement. This is the biggest what if. And I left that out. I didn't think of that one. So this is probably the biggest what if. What if you become terminally ill with something that causes you a great deal of pain as you exit this world? Can they make you comfortable there? That's the question. And again, I'm putting it out there. I know some of you guys that are there, you comment all the time and you guys are there. Let us guys that are planning to come there know what's the deal. Is it a thing? Now, I asked my wife this morning. I'm going to try to talk to her in the morning when she's getting ready for work. It's not a good time to ask her about things like this, but I am going to ask her because she's had experience with this with relatives back in the Philippines who passed, and I want to ask her about that. So from here, again, let's hear from the guys who are there. I want to hear from the guys like me that are planning to go there. What do you think about this? Do you know anything about this? This is where we stand now. I'm looking at this Hospice Groups thing as a sign of hope that they're going in the right direction. And I'm hoping half dozen years from now when I'm ready to go there that they're even further advanced. So I'm going to keep my eye on this. Big subject, guys. So let's talk about it. Let's see what we can find out, and let's watch and monitor, because this is huge. With the absence of an adequate answer or an adequate plan there, for me, that this is a cause for modification of my plans, if that is the case. How about you guys? If you find out that there's no palliative care for you, end of life care, hospice to make you comfortable in the end of your life, are you going to stay there till your life ends, or are you going to at some point come back to the States for your end of life? We're going to wrap this one up at that point, but I think there'll be future videos on this subject. It's very important. So we're going to revisit this again. So again, give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't, and as we always like to say, wherever you are in the world, stay well, stay safe, stay blessed. We'll see you real soon with another video. Take care, and thank you very much for watching.